All right, we're back in regular session, September the 10th, regular meeting. Any other business? Anybody got anything?
I was just gonna update you guys. I know I've talked to some of you, but, Lance and I went to the Anna Joint Review Board meeting for their TIF district. So Anna is trying to institute a TIF district. Part of the requirements for that is that they had to have a study done, which was done by a company called Moran. And then they have to put together a joint review board, which has one member of each taxing body gets to be a representative on this board. So I went on behalf of the county. Lance went, he wasn't a voting member, but he went just to ask questions and be there. And then Jeff Denny went for the highway department for us. So first of all, the TIF district Anna's proposing, Lance has a map right there that we can get to all of you guys, but it's a fairly large TIF district in my opinion. It stretches from one end of town to the other. It encompasses a lot of the businesses. I won't say all. It does not encompass the wellness group. It does not have Walmart in there, but pretty much every other business that's in Anna. For those of you that are newer to the board, what a TIF district does is it basically establishes a baseline. So when you get your tax bill, it's based off of two things. It's based off of your EAV times the tax rate. So whatever your equalized assessed value of your house is, which is about 33 1/3% of what your house is, times the tax rate is what your tax bill is. So when they set up a TIF district, all the EAVs within the TIF district freeze. So whatever they're at as of the date that the TIF district is established, although their records say they want to go back to the EAV in 2019. I don't think that's legal. I'll have to talk to Tyler about that. We just started talking about it. But the EAVs freeze, and then any increases to the EAVs for the next 23 years goes to the city of Anna. So we don't get the increase, the school doesn't get the increase, the library doesn't get the increase, no one gets the increase except the city of Anna. Now what the TIF companies will tell you and everything is that the EAVs were not going to increase anyway. They're stagnant, and that's why that they want to do it, and then they use that money to build the TIF district. That's what the goal is. So you have a stagnant economy, you set up a TIF district, you get money, you get a business to come in, and 23 years afterwards, they lift the TIF, and then all the taxing bodies get the benefit of the new business being there, that in their minds wouldn't be there if you didn't have the TIF district in the first place. So that's how they'll advocate for it. The problem with that is you don't see that for 23 years. So that's a really long time. The second part of it is that you really have to do something to grow the economy within the TIF district for it to be successful to the other taxing bodies. So we voiced a lot of concerns when we were there. The biggest concern that we started out with is, don't quote me on the total number of parcels. It's just a little bit over 500, 508, 513, something like that, of parcels. 98 of them didn't exist. So they gave us a parcel list. The treasurer's office ran all the parcel numbers. 98 of them didn't exist. A lot of them hadn't existed since 2010. So, and their data is only supposed to go back 5 years. So we questioned, how could you pick this information up when it's not valid information? The gentleman there didn't have a response, really. He just said, I'm not the one that did the work. I'll get back to you. So they have since sent us, Dory has sent us a follow-up email, which just came a few days ago. I have not looked at it yet, with a new parcel list with new parcel numbers that are supposed to be valid now. So I don't know how they did it the first time. So then our concern and the board's concern was a couple things. One, the joint review board was one, if the data was 20% inaccurate, which 98 of 500 is 20% inaccurate, how do we even know you qualify? Because they have to show, I believe there's 14 factors for TIF district, and you have to have 5 of them. So one of the ones they used was that the EAVs for the last 5 years have been declining. Well, if 20% of your data was wrong, maybe they haven't been declining for the last 5 years. And then one of them that they did was that, I want to say they said 70-some% of the buildings were deteriorated. So we asked, what buildings? Can we see your working papers? Will you identify to us what buildings you're saying qualify you for this TIF district? So they're supposed to be getting that to us. But we just had a lot of concerns. Lance asked him about where he got the age of the buildings. Even though we all know that there's some older buildings in Anna, where did they get the information? You also asked him where he got the EAVs from. And for that, is that the one he said DevNet?
No, he said DevNet for the age of the buildings, which I have not run that report. DevNet's not a public facility. I mean, no one but other than myself, the treasurer, or the assessor really has DevNet. We've never given them a report of age of buildings. Never run that before. I also asked about the EAVs, where they got the information on the EAVs. He said our website for the past 5-year EAVs. Well, I've only put the past 2 years on the website. So there's 3 years that I don't know where they got the information. He couldn't answer to where they got the EAV numbers at either, because I, again, did not print off. It's public knowledge or information. I don't mind to do it, but I never was requested to give the EAVs for Miranda for this information. So again, that's through DevNet. I'm the only one that actually, my office is the only one that can print those off. So I know for a fact I did not do those. So I had some concerns and questions. I went because I've not set through a TIF yet in a district. It does reflect my office, as Bobby knows. There's a lot of work comes into our office when you do the extension part of that, and same as assessor and treasurer. All 3 of us have a lot to do with this TIF district. So I wanted to go just to watch start to finish, and I had questions. Personally, I will tell you this. I think it's great that they're trying to do something proactive and get business started and attract, finally put something in motion. I think that's great. So when I say what I say next, I just want to say I appreciate the fact that they're putting in forward thinking on this. You're talking about a lot of money that can go to this TIF district fund. Now, there only can be certain things spent inside of a TIF district, as you guys probably know, but we ask, what's the plan? What are you going to do with this money? What's the big plan here? And we couldn't get an answer. So we did receive this the other day. She and I have scheduled next week to sit down, and we're going to dissect this again. We'll let you guys know. Some of the answers in here are of the objectives of the TIF district. Basically, the only one I could really see as far as an actual plan is to replace their gas lines. Their aging gas lines, they've got 35 miles of steel lines that are aged 60 to 75 years old. I don't think that's part of the TIF district. I don't think that's what our potential revenues need to go to be fixing their gas lines.
So that's not going to grow the TIF district if that's the plan. It's going to just utilize the funds. It's not going to get you a higher EAV for 23 years from now. So basically using the tax dollars to take care of gas lines that they haven't taken care of. That's not the responsibility of the other taxing districts.
Lincoln may get in it, but I don't think those 2 are in it. In the TIF district.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So, and the same as the park. I think if you're going to get this kind of money, and just my personal opinion again, but I think if you're going to get this kind of money and approve things like that, those are areas that need to be worked on, in my opinion. Also the business climate of attracting new business is great. Don't get me wrong. I think that's good. We get new business growth in there, but I think also you want to protect the businesses that are already here. They haven't had a TIF district to help them. So I think the atmosphere of creating a new business friendly is great, but at the same time, you might bring in some big corporation competitors that may put out some mom and pop shops here. There's all kinds of issues that we had and asked, and we could not get answered.
Looking at that map, there's no available space hardly to bring a new business in.
There is, on the east side there.
Yeah, on the east side.
And which the
Take it
city
all the
owns
way
that.
down- Take it all the way down Main Street and around.
No, on the east side of town
There
there.
is in their industrial park, which is included in it, and it's on the outside, and it's industrial park.
There's a lot of residents in that, if you've noticed. Look at that map, a lot of residential area in there. I don't know if that's the idea or not. I don't know what they're, again, we asked the questions, we couldn't get the answers, so we're still asking the questions.
I have a question.
Yes.
The business park, is that Anna's property business park, or are there outside interests that are also looking to?
They own land on the east side that's in this, that's a barren, it's the old Stokes Farm, I call it. I don't know who owns it now, but in between, Dog Walk and 146.
It's their property to develop.
For Joko Cool.
That's what I'm getting at. Do they even own all the property that they're angling on for this?
Not all of it, but they have a considerable
I'm
amount.
talking on the east side where
Yeah.
we're out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
But why not put the park in it then, and why not other areas that they do own is what my question was on it. It's out. I think if, and you set through, I think the abatement part, when a building taxes were abated, you all got to decide what you wanted to do with your tax revenues on that. They don't have to. One board can do this. There's 5 people in charge of this now, so it's the city of Anna. Board is the one that, you don't get a say, the schools don't get a say. We voted it down. Said it needed work, it needs a lot of questions answered and stuff like that.
Unanimously?
No,
No,
and the city of Anna voted yes,
Okay.
And that meeting was not totally attended by all the taxing bodies either.
and that's correct.
Uh,
AJ was not represented.
37 was there, and they,
I think the school should get a say. That's what those boards are elected to do. That's your job, is to manage a budget. I'm not trying to tell you guys what to do, but again, the law is written that way. I just wish it was. That's why I'm telling you I'm against them. So.
again, we have a say on this board, and that's it. And it can be a 5-1 or 8-1, however many taxing bodies, I don't remember, is on there. With them, they all want improvement, and they can do it. That's the sad part.
But the advisory board did vote down that, so I mean, that was,
Well, I think it caught the attention of some of the city council, I really do, that they were not prepared like they were told they were. So we'll see. I mean, we just gotta stay on top of it, so. Anything else?
Make sure the citizens are all aware too.
That was what I was gonna say. I would like the citizens to have a peace of mind that they're gonna realize
Well,
the benefit of it. It's not gonna go to gas lines and new business, you
the
know.
biggest school district doesn't even show up to attempt to care about it, that's a problem, as far as I'm concerned.
like I said, the size of you're talking millions of
Oh, yeah,
dollars.
I mean,
eventually.
I've seen TIF districts, and usually it's just a little section of town at a
Yes.
time. I mean, they encompass the whole damn city, basically. And, but that's their prerogative.
That's to get control of that revenue.
Oh, yeah.
And like I said, it's 8% of our total. Now, like I said, it's not a lot, but that adds up. You compound that over 23 years,
23 years, and you're talking about
a lot of money. And there again, we've got costs that are gonna go up, as we know. So that's the issue I have with it, so.
Okay.
Sorry.
Anything else? Motion to adjourn? Motion to adjourn.
Commissioner Harville,
Yes.
Commissioner Pitts, Commissioner Miller,
Yes.
Commissioner Toller,
Yes.
Commissioner Gould.
Yes.